Warning: the following program is about a man with brutally honest opinions about everything and is suitable for audiences ages 13 and above. Video discretion is advised.
When it comes to biopics, there is a love-hate relationship with it. Some people say that they are faithful recreations of real people's lives, while others say that the dramatization of certain scenes bastardizes the original source material. Throughout the years, we have had biopics about famous music artists such as Queen, Elton John, Elvis Presley, Robbie Williams, and most recently, Bruce Springsteen. However, nothing comes close to the popularity that is Michael, the king of pop himself. I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson. I grew up to his catalog of songs since watching his music videos on the MTV channel back in 2014. I also grew up with the Sega Genesis, which is ironic because Michael partnered with Sega to put out Moonwalker in the console, as well as assisting music composition for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. As soon as the first trailer for the Michael Jackson biopic came out, I was excited to see how Hollywood handles the history of Michael, especially with MJ's nephew Jafar Jackson starring as the titular character. I bought a ticket to see Michael at an IMAX theater on opening weekend. And how does the movie fare? Not what I had expected. I'll go through what's good and bad about the movie, but first, usually I don't talk about the theater experience whenever I'm doing movie reviews, but much like the Minecraft movie last year, the turnout was amazing. Just for context, the theater I went to is Shaw at Lido, you know, the one from Orchard, in case if you're wondering. Well, if your guys are Singapore fans, by the way, if you know me. But anyway, there are a lot of Michael Jackson fans, both old and young, gathering around at the first floor by the large Michael Jackson standee to perform a dance-off pre-show. Believe me, I brought a Sega Genesis Mini and danced off with another Michael Jackson impersonator with a gaming console in hand. As for the main event itself, I heard one Michael Jackson fan asking if the crowd is ready for Michael, to an energetic cheer from the crowd, hyping everyone up. The audio quality for the IMAX speakers is amazing, blending the movie's crowd cheers with my theater's crowd cheers. It feels like you're at a concert again, and I would like to thank the Michael Jackson superfans for making a concert-like theater experience. Now on to the review. Let's talk about what everyone is praising: Jafar Jackson. In case if you don't know, Jafar is the nephew of Michael Jackson and makes up the third generation of the Jackson family. At this point, it feels like the Jackson family is considered the music industry's royal family. As for Jafar's performance as his uncle MJ, he is very much on point. The vocals, the choreography, the energy, it really gets to show you how committed Jafar is by respecting the legacy of MJ. The set design and visual effects look respectfully amazing, even though there are some effects that look jarring in some scenes. But for the most part, the costume and production design are executed very well, down to the finest of details. By the way, the producers involved in this movie are of course MJ's son Prince, as well as the two executors of the Michael Jackson estate, Branca and McLean. That gets to show that the producers have the intent to respect the legacy of Michael Jackson, which is great news. And of course, the cinematography is what you get from any good concert movies, and I'm saying that from a positive standpoint. I have nothing to complain about, especially when depicting the most dramatic scenes with extreme camera movements to emphasize chaos. As such, if you want a feel-good Michael Jackson mini concert film while you shut your brain off for 2 hours, I think this is right up your alley. However, you also have to understand where the critics are standing. As a hardcore Michael Jackson fan, there are a lot of shortcomings with this biopic. To be brutally honest with you, I think the story is unfinished, and for good reason. The biopic covers the history of Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5 era to the Thriller era. I mean, we got at least one sneak peek of the bad era at the end of the film, but that's about it. You see the problem here? Michael Jackson's history is too big to be presented in a feature-length 2-hour film. This biopic could have benefited if it is presented as a mini-series for streaming services. Don't believe me? Senna, a Netflix biographical miniseries about the life of legendary F1 driver Ayrton Senna. The story revolves around the rise, the career, and the fall of Senna. That is the complete story told in multiple episodes instead of one feature-length film. By using the miniseries idea, the producers can focus on the Jackson 5 era in the first episode, then Michael's debut album in the next, then follow up with Thriller, then so on and so forth. Hey, so editing me here, I really have to pause right there because turns out Off the Wall is not Michael Jackson's debut album, but instead it is basically his fifth album overall as a solo artist, but it is his first with Epic Records, of course, and his first as an adult. So I really have to point this out because I'm really gonna get heat from Michael Jackson fans if I don't point this out, but here you go. Off the Wall is not his debut album. It's basically his fifth album, but the first album with Epic Records and as an adult. So really gotta have to point that out. Anyway, let's continue. The ending of the movie is too abrupt. After Michael performs bad, the movie cuts to black, assuring the audience that the story continues. Just that one sentence before the credits roll. No epilogue, no resolution, nothing that feels like an emotional payoff. What you saw at the end of the day is just 1/3 of Michael Jackson's story. It's like you bought a game for $80 full price, but only Act 1 is available at launch, while the other two are available in a couple years' time. To be fair, the producers teased at a possible sequel is in the cards, but it's a biopic that is titled Michael, as in the history of Michael Jackson, generally speaking, not specifically as in the rise of Michael Jackson, but generally speaking, it missed the mark so much. I mean, of course, I'm going to talk about the omission of the abuse allegations in 1993 that every critic is talking about in their reviews. The omission is not a decision from Lionsgate or Universal. It is because of an ongoing mandate or clause by the Michael Jackson estate, Branca and McClain. It is no wonder why Branca and McClain have producer credits because of their input on the production. Honestly, I think the mandate is straight up bullshit. If the producers want to make an unbiased retelling of the history of Michael Jackson, it's best for the estate to just back off and let the producers do their thing. Again, the biopic could have been told in a mini-series format if the producers wanted to retell the abuse allegations of '93 and the court trials that came after. However, the mandate from the Michael Jackson estate to not mention anything about the allegations most likely would prevent that scene from ever seeing the light of day.
Michael!
A biographical movie about the rise of Michael Jackson, and it stops right there. As a hardcore Michael Jackson fan, I am disappointed by the fact that songs after the Thriller era have been omitted due to the story structure, leaving the experience unfinished. I have to reiterate, there are elements in the movie that are worth praising, such as Jafar Jackson's performance, the production design, and the visual effects. However, the unfinished story and the abrupt ending would turn the largest fans of Michael Jackson off. So it really comes down to expectations. If you want a feel-good Michael Jackson concert movie in which you could turn your brain off, I would say it is an okay experience. However, if you're expecting a full-blown and unbiased story of the King of Pop, I'm sorry to say, but you will be disappointed. Unfortunately, my expectations are more of the latter, which is why I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 10. I feel bad giving this movie a terrible score because I have to admit, Jafar Jackson is a very talented person. This movie gives us a taste on what the third generation of the Jackson family can do. I hope Jafar's breakout success from this movie can be a launchpad for his rise to stardom, whether it's acting or even a music career. He has the potential to revive the popularity of the Jackson family after a decade of dormancy since MG's death in 2009, and I wish him all the best for his career. In addition, after watching this movie, I am concerned about future biopics covering music artists as big as Michael Jackson or even bigger. Imagine Universal doing a biopic about Taylor Swift. told in a feature-length movie format, and they only cover the first 2 eras in Swift's career. Of course, die-hard Swifties are going to be disappointed. Once again, a mini-series format is the best when covering music artists of that magnitude. But even then, despite all the negative reception surrounding this movie, I still think it's going to make a lot of money throughout this theatrical run, so... maybe I'm bad. Now over to you guys. What do you think about the Michael Jackson biopic? Do you think it is a feel-good Michael Jackson concert film or experience? Or do you think the story is unfinished and you expected more? Do let me know in the comments below. That's my review of Michael. If you do enjoy this video, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more reviews. We'll go ahead and wrap it up from here. This has been Mr. LW, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Who's bad?